Bitcoin breaks through $10,500, the neckline of a long-term inverse head and shoulders with a $26,000 target. What kind of immediate resistance do we have ahead in the hours ahead? And do the Bitcoin bulls have what it takes to break through? What is up, everybody? Thank you for cruising by Crypto Capital Venture. This is Bitcoin, the weekly chart. You can see it, the weekly candle, Bitcoin breaking through this neckline, and it's just an awesome sight. We are at immediate resistance, literally right now. As I do this video, $10,837. Let's jump into this and talk about it. First, I want to just take a quick look at this video from literally 2 days ago. Litecoin, a leading indicator, Bitcoin is around 10% away. This 10% move Litecoin has had. Could Bitcoin put in a very similar move in the coming hours or days ahead to get some separation above that 50-week, the neckline on this weekly chart? There we go. It happened. Everybody, Litecoin does a really good job as a leading indicator for Bitcoin, and it shows. That was $9,700 Bitcoin. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at 10,800, so we know that's over 10% gains for Bitcoin as anticipated. So where are we though? What are we looking at? So this is Bitcoin on the daily chart. Everything we want to see in terms of this inverse head and shoulders. You can see the left shoulder, Bitcoin under that 50-day moving average, breaking back up to the neckline. We can see the head under that 50-day moving average, breaking through up to the neckline. And then once again, we can see Bitcoin under this 50-day moving average, barely. Recently, within the last week, breaking through that 50-day moving average to the neckline and breaking above the neckline, pretty much putting in a higher high above that neckline compared to these other swing highs that Bitcoin has had along this path, all the way back to October 2019. That's a big deal, everybody. But if we look closer now, if we look at the 6-hour chart, we have some things going on. That's what I really want to break down in this video. Some things that you can anticipate, just prepare for, because right now, Bitcoin is at immediate resistance, namely $10,800 or so up to right around $11,100 to $200. So let's call it 11,200. So that area of resistance and that channel, just for reference, is just about another 3.5% above where Bitcoin is right now as I do this video. Heavy resistance. Question is, why is that heavy resistance? Two main reasons. Number one, the target right here, 11,159 on this chart, is the target breakout for the symmetrical triangle that extends back to May 2020. So it's like a midterm symmetrical triangle, pretty sizey, but we broke through that, right? We broke through that area, and that is a target for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin actually manages from here to break through $11,000 and hits this area, right around that area, 11,100 to 11,200, there might be some immediate resistance right there. So anticipate potential resistance and also potential throwback off of that price. And really, we're at this really important range because number two, confluent with this area or with this target, just below that target is this trend line right here. Now that trend line, incredibly important. If I zoom out here on this, let's go back to this daily chart and zoom out. Zoom out on that daily chart. That daily chart, that trend line that we're literally wicking above right now, and I'm zooming all the way out here. This goes all the way back to the bull market swing high, and you can see it doesn't even fit on my screen because I'm on the daily, but this is the 6-hour chart. That's why it's not fitting on my screen, everybody. Look at this. Look at this, I'm a mess. So there we go. Daily chart, swing high, that trend line going back years and years. Look at all the noise. Look at all this charting. We are touching this upper trend line right now. So if we go now back to the 6-hour chart and we zoom in a little bit, we can just see this is literally what's happening right now. We're testing this long-term trend line for basically like the second time or so from that bull market high years ago. It's crazy to think about that. And that is a true area of resistance for Bitcoin. And it's also a true area for Bitcoin to bullishly break above. That could be potentially a bullish confirmation. What's really weird is I do this video, I think my ticker on Bitcoin just said 26,000 for like a split second. I don't think anybody saw that, but that was insane. So moving on, Bitcoin right now testing a very critical area. And the question is, in the hours ahead, can we see if Bitcoin is going to break this area up to $11,200? That's mainly what I'm looking at. So then we ask, if there's resistance here, what can we look at? What should we be worried about, right? And we have a lot of room to the downside of support. It might not be support that sounds good or looks good, but it's support nonetheless. And at the end of the day, it wouldn't even surprise me if we made it down to these areas. So a couple areas we're looking at. Number one, $9,900 support, which is a breakout target that Bitcoin had out of this ascending triangle that really got this whole thing kickstarted in the first place. You remember that triangle extends back to June, and you can see Bitcoin broke above this. This was right after 60% to the apex. We were tracking it, just an awesome break, hit its target, had some consolidation right here above that target, along that target, and continue. It's exactly what we want to see. But on the flip side, we can anticipate throwbacks to those target areas for support. So currently right around $9,900 is a support area. In a very volatile, bearish, short-term bearish environment, if Bitcoin goes below that, we'd be looking at the other breakout area, the upper trend line of the symmetrical triangle that you see here on the screen. And currently that is around $9,500, right? So now we have 9,900 support, 9,500 supports. And then lastly, just below that, this is a 6-hour chart, but right here around $9,300, $9,400 is the 50 moving average on the daily chart. Here's the daily chart. So this would look like Bitcoin coming back down and touching that area for support. Now, that's not what we want to see, right? Like, that's not enjoyable if we saw Bitcoin do that, give up all these gains that it just had. We're talking about, you know, a 10 to 15% dip for Bitcoin, which isn't even that much, but we don't want to see that happen. What we would like to see, even if there is immediate resistance at all this resistance that we just talked about, is Bitcoin to just kind of trade sideways, especially if it could do so above $10,500 above this neckline, consolidate, give the 50 moving average some time to kind of catch up, and then as it meets that, continue to the upside. This could be sometime in mid-August. We might have to have some patience for this. We don't know if Bitcoin's going to continue this nice little run that it's on, but we do know that most of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets are enjoying it. And, you know, time will tell what happens next, but these are the things we watch for. So really on the 6-hour chart, it offers some clues of the area for bullish confirmation to continue this upswing, which would namely be to break above this channel right now, another 3.5%, 4% to the upside for Bitcoin to do that. If you see Bitcoin break above 11,200, that's a very nice sign. The more separation Bitcoin can get from two areas, this upper trend line right now, right around 10,700, 10,800, and the neckline 10,500 on this weekly chart down here, the more separation Bitcoin can get from this whole area, the better, so that we can start using that area as support for continuation. So those are my thoughts, everybody. Just if you're wondering, you see on my screen a $72,000 target. That is the long-term breakout target for this next cycle for Bitcoin out of that very long-term symmetrical triangle that we see on the screen here, going back to the bull market high, just so you know, right? That's not an immediate target. That's for another video. But anyway, that is my video for the day on Bitcoin. Whew. I don't think I took a breath that entire video. Time for me just to cool off a little bit, see what Bitcoin does. Resistance from really where we are now up to 11,200. Can Bitcoin break that area? If you're here and not a subscriber, hit the subscribe. I appreciate you coming by. Hit the like on the way out. I will see you on the next video. Have an awesome day, and God bless.